Hello everyone, Chaps79 here on Mustin07's YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be making a lesson with you on how to write your own code in Denizen script. If you're not familiar with Denizen, it's a scripting language designed specifically for Minecraft. It's way easier to learn than Java, and you don't really need any previous experience. They've got a great beginner's guide on their website, and I'll show that to you real quick. I'm going with the assumption that you have already read the beginner's guide and you have a scripting engine and you have a testing server and the other downloads that you'll need. After you follow through this beginner's guide, it should all make sense. So spend a couple of hours going through this and then come back to the video and I'll show you how to make your own script. So the script that we're going to write today is just a simple reminder message that will pop up when there's a new player on your server. Have you ever had it when there's a new player and they go out, they make a base, and then they teleport back to spawn, or they die, or for whatever reason they lose the coordinates to their base, and they can never find it again, so they rage quit and they're gone forever and ever. Well, we're going to make a simple script that will give them a reminder message when they start building that they need to set a home. So imagine I'm a new guy. Here it is. I've got my log. I'm about to start building my great home. And then there, I just got a message that says to use the set home command to make this place my home, and then how to come back here. And it tells them the limit of set homes that they have available to them. On our server, it's 4 set homes. We're going to create a title for this script, and we'll just call it something simple like home reminder. And you can see that's what I already have this saved as. The type is going to be a world script. And then the debug option, I always like to start with debug at true so that I can watch the script run a few times just to make sure everything's working correctly. And then this is an event script, so in the events, like I said, we're going to be watching for where when the player joins. So we're going to type after player joins. Make sure that the player when he joins is a new player. So we'll set up a definition to check for that. So we'll set the definition as a time, and then what time is going to mean to the script is that when a player, his time lived in minutes, it doesn't have to be minutes, but minutes is simplest for us to work with, and we're going to round that number to call it 1 digit, and that's just to make it simpler when we look at the console. Otherwise, Denizen will take it out to about 10 digits. We don't need that kind of precision. So when a player joins, if his time that he lived is less than a minute, so we'll say if, now that definition that we've just created, we're going to use here, if time is less than or equal to 1, then we're going to give the player a flag, which means, hey, we're watching him for certain events. So flag that player, and we'll call him, how about noob? The player's going to be noob, and that flag will expire after 12 hours. We don't need an expiration date here, but that's kind of like a little safety catch. That way, flags don't persist in your server forever unless you want them to. So we're just going to put a 12-hour limit to this flag. And then the next thing we need to look for is when the player places a block. So we'll say on the player places a block. We don't want it to be just any block. We're looking for certain things, right? Like what players typically build with when they first start in your server. And that's going to be something like cobblestone. How about we use this ore symbol, which is just the pipe, which means ore. Any, this asterisk means any, planks, or how about any logs, or it's just logs, singular, or dirt, right? Surely your first house is going to have one of those things in it. But we're not looking for when any player places that, because you could have a large server with a lot of players, and we don't want this firing off every single time any player on your game places any of those blocks. So we're going to limit it with our flag that we just defined earlier. So we're going to say only check it out if that player is flagged noob. And if that event then fires, what's it going to do? It's going to narrate to that particular player, use/set home, and then the command. This is an essentials command, right? Set home name. Oops, wrong one. To make this place your home. And we can set some pretty colors in here too, so it pops out. Default is white. So we'll skip over to set home. We want that to pop out. So open bracket, and how about a nice pink color? There it is. So that everything after the color symbol changes to pink, but we don't want it all to be synced. We want to change it to pink. We want to change it back to white. There. So it'll be use set home name to make this place your home. And we can send them a second line as well. Use/home with that same name to return to this spot. There we go. And we'll add our colors again. Same color. /home and pink. And then we'll change it back to white here. Okay, and now to make sure that they don't see this message over and over again every time they place a block, we're going to unflag them. So we're going to say unflag that player. The flag that we're going to unflag is noob, and use an exclamation mark to say unflag. Exclamation mark means not in the Denizen script, which you know from the beginner's guide. But just in case, let's say they don't start building a home right away, we want to remind them again in the future in case they forgot. So let's wait a while, and we can call it, 40 minutes. We're going to wait 40 minutes, and then we're going to check to see if this player has a home. So if not player has home, so if the player does not have a home, we're going to reflag that player noob. And then we'll have it expire again in another 12 hours. So what this is going to do then is every 40 minutes, if the player has not set a home yet, when they place a block, they'll be reminded to set a home. So that shouldn't be too repetitive to be annoying. And it's really simple to set a home. So most players won't see this message more than once, maybe twice if they procrastinate. And that's it. Let's go back to our server. So we're going to save it, and we go back to our game to reload. We say EX reload. And now we can go check our script to make sure it works okay. I'll pick up my block once I'm in survival mode again. We'll get a block, we'll place it down, and I'm reminded to set my home. Break the block, place it down, and I'm not reminded to place my home because we put the 40-minute time limit on there. So if I don't set a home in 40 minutes, I'll get the reminder again, but one reminder is enough for me. So I will set my home, and we'll call it home. There, I will never see that message again. And if I should die, ouch. Oh no, how will I ever get back home again? Oh yeah, that's right. I set a home, called home. And here it is. So one less person to rage quit on your server. Thanks for watching, and thank you to Mustin for letting me record. And I'll post another lesson in the future.